Hello, hello, my love. Welcome. This is going to be your Witch's Broom reading. We're going to look at the general state of things. We're going to look at everything from the love life, the career, and your energetic health. So let's just get into it. I'm going to start with just pulling the cards first so I can have my little broom set up. Perfect. Okay. And let me get the rest of the cards. Oh, your cards are like just jumping out. I like that though. Oh, those two wants to come out. Okay. I like when they want to come out like that real fast. It just shows whatever needs to be read needs to be read. Wow. That's quite a bit. Let's try it again, Spirit. The energetic state of things. What does my client need to hear? And that one. Wow, this one has quite a bit of cards coming out for it. So that one is definitely going to be a big message for you. I will say too, your energy feels very scattered, like almost rushed. Like you have to get everything done real fast, like just right away, always rushed. Okay. So just kind of see how if that resonates with you. And if it does, there is this need to slow down with that. Okay. Not everything is going to get done all in one go. That's kind of like what I feel called to tell you. But let's see what your cards show. So I do have the layout of the spread here. So I'm going to use that so I don't forget. Okay. So card number 1 for this is the Witch's Broom. So card number 1, current challenge in your love life. So your love life energy, Harvest Moon. This says, slow your heart and move gently into the coming of self. Interesting. So you're being really asked to step into your full self. And taking your time. And kind of interesting that I got that message too of needing to slow down when it comes to love. The Caduceus, you will receive news from afar. So a message, something coming your way soon. We have Strength. And we also have Judgment. Those are 2 powerful tarot cards to get for love. So a current challenge right now, Strength and Judgment. I feel like this is needing to tame your beasts is what I want to say with the Strength card. I think that there's challenges with thinking you're not good enough or worthy enough. I do feel like this is needing to open your heart, that gate being open and allowing, trespassers, like being able to trespass into your heart space. There is a challenge with that. There's a challenge perhaps of trust. There is a challenge of allowing someone in and allowing your heart to be loved, to be nurtured and nourished. I'm trying to find space on my desk. I have too much going on here. That Harvest Moon is learning to harvest yourself. There are things about you, your personality, your being that needs a little bit of maybe a check-in or a check-up, okay? And we're going to kind of go look at that too as well as like little blocks. But that's the energy I see for love life. So there is this desire for it, but there is a need to kind of break down your own walls of your heart and allow yourself to face demons. Now, if you're in a relationship, maybe it's breaking down a wall that you have built between you and your lover. If you're single, it's breaking down the wall to allow love in. Okay. And then the next card, current challenge in career. Harvest Witch. So we have another Harvest card. What sacrifices have you made for the greater vision of what is to be? So what things have you been doing to better a potential outcome with your career? Have there been sacrifices made? Have you been sacrificing your time and energy for something better, something else, something different? The chimera, imagination clouds your judgment. So sometimes being phased, being caught up in the dream-like state, being caught up in the daydream of what you wish you had rather than being present in your career. That is also coming up as a challenge. Sometimes it's if you're desiring something new and you're so caught up in the thought of it that you're not allowing yourself to be present and experiencing what's happening right now, you might be missing out on some beautiful things. The Queen of Bats and the Knight of Candles and then the Hierophant. So I kind of see the Queen of Bats could be maybe a difficult person you're working with. This could be a difficult boss. This could be a difficult coworker. Queen of Swords. This is a Queen of Swords. It can be someone who is just uptight is the word that comes to mind from Spirit. Very bossy, very, strict. And maybe they just don't rub you the right way, you just don't mix with them. The Knight of Candles and the Hierophant gives me this desire to go somewhere else. I feel like there's a part of you that is wanting to move on or maybe promote, if it's promoting within the same company or it is an entirely new chapter in your book. I kind of see that with the book here, that maybe you are looking to see what is next in my book of life. Like, what is the next chapter? What is the next thing that I want to do for myself? The Knight of Candles is a patient card. I feel like when a Knight of Candles comes up, it is asking you to illuminate your path, but don't rush into it. And that brings me back to that message that I felt before of you can't constantly be in this state of, a rush, right? Okay. So let's look at the next one. Number 3, the current challenge in your health, physical or emotional. So we have whiskey. Interesting. Life should be sipped slowly with intention. Be patient as the vision reveals itself. So physically or emotionally wise, your mental health and your physical health, you're being asked to slow down. Again, there's that message. The whiskey makes me wonder, my love, is there a habit? Do you have a drinking habit? Is there a habit of consumption of too much alcohol or too much whatever? Just putting that out there. I also kind of feel too, it's asking you, because it says, life should be slowly sipped. You have to savor everything. And when you're too much in a rush because you're too much, thinking of the next best thing or what you wish you had and only looking at what you wish you had and not appreciating what is in front of you, you're missing out, right? So physically wise and emotionally wise, your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, you're being asked to slow down and sip, nurture, nourish, enjoy the moment. Everything will come to light is pretty much what it's saying, but in due time. The shield, you are safe from harm. I love that for you. I think that is a protective shield. I think that's a message from your spirit team. I think that is a message that you're protected and you're okay. Nothing is wrong with you. I also think that this is the message to shield yourself, that there is a need to protect yourself more. And maybe that's why it's coming up as a challenge. Do you have a challenge with putting your boundaries up with people? Do you allow too many people to affect your energy and it ruins your mental state or it ruins your emotional state or all of it, So there is a challenge with needing to be more protective of yourself and setting firmer boundaries with people. Hierophant came out again. So Hierophant and then the Knight of Lightning. The Knight of Lightning instantly makes me think there is somebody in your life that may be challenging you or being a challenge to you with your physical wellness. There could be somebody that is just, maybe their energy is not good for you. Like literally the word toxicity comes to mind. There could be somebody in your life that is just draining you. And maybe that is why you need to put up your shield, set a firmer boundary with this person. The Hierophant is setting kind of like strict routine for yourself, especially when it comes to your health. So that is, maybe it's an exercise routine. Maybe it's an eating routine. Maybe it's, a meditation routine to help your mental health. There needs to be a little bit more of a strict routine happening to keep you on track with something. Next card, so number 4, blocks to move forward with these challenges. So these are going to show what is keeping you from being able to move beyond some of these challenges that you're facing. Okay. So we have the wool, which is you are woven with an embrace, protected, loved, and familiarity of finally being home. This to me is just to be merely satisfied. This is your inability. You're seeing a block with just being complete and content with your present state. This could be something maybe you've always been challenged with, not being comfortable in your present. Maybe you lived too much in your past and in your regrets, or maybe you lived too much in your future and what you wish your life could be, or what you wish you could be like. This is asking you to face that challenge of being comfortable and content with your present state, your present life. The sun, your perseverance is rewarded. I feel like the sun kind of, to me, makes me feel like just being happy, just being satisfied, just being simplistic, right? That life doesn't always have to be difficult. It doesn't always have to be, this challenge to do. And maybe you make it more difficult than it needs to be. And maybe that's why this is a block. The sun could be a block. Maybe the sun is a literal. Do you have a son that is challenging you? Is parenting difficult for you? Is there that, that thing? But I kind of feel it's more so you're not allowing yourself to just be happy, right? You're not letting yourself just be content with what is. Very interesting with that. The tarot cards, you have the 4 of Pumpkins or the 4 of Pentacles, and then you have the 6 of Lightning, which is the 6 of Swords. Interesting. I think that you're always trying to plant your seeds and you're always trying to do the next thing. There's always plans. There's always this and that. It's like maybe you have the idea of what you want, but it's actually the physical, process of getting there. You have all these lightning bolts coming onto the broom. And a broomstick is the symbol of flight or movement. So maybe it's like the process of getting beyond just the planning stage and actually physically doing the thing that is a big block for you. Interesting. Okay. Lastly, we have advice on getting the ball rolling. How do you start to physically put into action, right? Everything. So darkness falls. Within you lives the hidden, the things that want nothing more than to swallow you whole. This is your depression. This is your mirror. This is your shadow self. Okay. So a way to get the ball rolling is facing your fears, facing the challenges head on, facing your shadow head on. Stop running away from it and look her straight in the eye. Okay. A lot of times when we do that, we realize our shadows, our fears are not that bad. It's not as bad as what we perceive them to be. But because we constantly run away from them, we never get to see them head on, right? So that's powerful. Some other advice. The Wyvern, your secrets are safe. So this to me is trust. This tells me whoever knows your secrets or whoever you talk to, your secrets are safe. Maybe you don't confide in many people. Maybe it's this fear of, some of your secrets getting into the wrong hands or whatnot. This kind of shows me I feel like this is more personal for you, but however you perceive this, I just think everything's going to be okay. Like it's not going to blow up in your face. The Air card, seek a union of mind and spirit. I love that for you. This is finding a balance with your heart and your mind, a balance with your body, being able to be content with your physical state, your mental state, your emotional state, and your spiritual state. All of those parts of yourself need to be balanced and connected. That is how you will feel, confident and whole and pretty much satisfied, right? When you're putting too much effort into, for example, let's say you're putting too much effort into your career, but your relationship or your love life is like to shit, right? And your body, your physical state is to crap. because you're putting so much into one part of your life. All of these areas of your life need to have a balance: your love life, your career, your physical body, and your mental state, you know? So I feel like it's kind of just taking care of all parts of you and not putting too much overload into one part. Knight of Imps and Two of Imps. So Knight of Wands and Two of Wands. This is a decision to be made. So there's some kind of big decision to be made. It could interfere with a person, or a person may be helping, guiding you to make this choice. This could be a fight. This could be some kind of, head on, some kind of head on, facing a challenge with someone else, or just trying to get your point across. But I do see a decision needing to be made. No longer juggling between two things. And the Five of Pumpkins and the Two of Candles. So the Two of Wands again. So this is literally the same card, just two different tarot decks. So definitely a big choice, a decision to be made. And then the Five of Pumpkins, or the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is, to me, kind of like, how do I see the Five of Pentacles? I kind of just see it as like the energy of buildup. Okay. When you don't face something and you run away from it, like how I was saying, you run away from your shadow. Where is it? Right here. The more you run away from your fears and your shadows, the less that you see the outcome. I think it's kind of, you're going to get to a boiling point. And that Five of Pentacles, for some reason, is just making me feel like everything is just going to be illuminated, right? And I really feel that because I see the werewolf here right in the front. And a werewolf, when they see the moon and they howl at the moon, and then they go through this transformation into this werewolf, this creature of the night, it's almost like you're allowing that primal part of you to come out. The part of you that you have been locking down and keeping secret, right? So I do feel like this is a big reveal, and it may be as a result of a big decision you make, where you finally step into your truth and you finally allow yourself to be yourself, right? So that's going to be a very powerful turn of events. And I think it's all of this kind of jumbled into one. When you finally just balance everything out, you will finally find that peace and that confidence to be your true self. I think that there's just a part of you that desires a certain way of life and a certain way that it's supposed to look. And you're not letting yourself just be in the present. Just exist. Just be yourself, right? And I think that might be one of the biggest things for you, is to learn to be accepting, to accept your life as it is right now. You can always make improvements. You can't change the past. We learn from the past, but live in the present. You're missing out on too much of what's happening right now. Okay? I don't feel like your cards are negative in any way. In fact, I feel like there's been a lot of progress. I do feel like your energy is very scattered. So there is maybe anxiety, or maybe there's just this feeling like you have to rush and always be on the go. And your cards are certainly asking you to slow down. But I also think that there's kind of like this message of, you have been putting in work and you have been making changes, and it's being recognized. But you're really starting to come to a point where you're going to have to face the ultimate shadow, or the ultimate fear, whatever that mirror is, right? The thing you've been avoiding. You're going to have to finally face it. And that'll be kind of like the last step. So, right, regardless of if you want to deal with that or not, you're ultimately going to have to face it at one point. And I think it's going to be maybe the last piece to the puzzle for some of your life situations. I think your career is changing. I feel like the love life, there's a little bit more trust that needs to happen. In fact, I feel like a big shadow is in connection to your love life. I feel like your physical state, your health, that whiskey card, if it's not a drinking problem, maybe it's just a habit. Maybe there's just some kind of negative habit that you have that you need to put into check, right? And maybe it's literally stemmed with this person, whomever this person is, this negative person in your life. And once you can really firmly set a boundary with this person, you can start to take care of yourself in a different way. So I love that for you, my love. I think you have beautiful cards, and I think that this reading was very powerful. I hope that it resonated. If you have questions, please reach out, send me an email. But yeah, I hope that this helped. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, my love.